Well, a very good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Day 2 coverage of the Aurora World Championship here at the Aurora Golf Resort. I'm Timothy Lowe. Great to have your company this Friday afternoon. Good scoring in the afternoon wave yesterday. Not often you say that on the KLPGA Tour. The co-lead was shared at 7 under par by Kim Min-joo and Kim Se-ro-mi, matching 65s for them. But slow finishers to each of their respective rounds. Min-joo with a 69, Se-ro-mi with a 71 has left the door open for the afternoon starters to perhaps try and make some inroads today. Here's Bang Shin-sil, who's just 2 under par. Birdie putt on the way at the 6, just slipping on by. Picked up her 6th career title this year at the Doosan Match Play Championship. Hugely talented youngster, gonna see plenty of her in our coverage this afternoon. It's a 1 billion Korean won prize purse up for grabs this week. 180 million hitting the way of our champion, the KLPGA Tour, back after a couple of weeks off since Ko Ji-yu won the I1 Resort Ladies Open. Here's Yang Hyo-jin, desperate need of a couple of birdies if she is to play the weekend. At the moment, projected cut sitting at 1 over par. That's not good news for the defending champion, Bae So-hyun, who's at 2 over and done and dusted for the day, so very much in danger of missing out. Here's Yoo Hyun-jo, Player of the Year last year, also in need of a couple of birdies. She did pick one up on the 5th to move to 2 over, but again, remember, projected cut 1 over par as things stand. Low 60 and ties will contest the weekend. Here's the history maker, Park Min-ji, 20th KLPGA Tour title coming about 2 months ago. She's 1 under par. And it looks like she's bunkered there at the par 5 7th. It's been a good tournament so far for Year 1, who's had a very ho-hum first half of the season. Did pick up a victory, but has lacked a little consistency. Good start today, though. A couple of early birdies on 1 and 2. A string of pars since. Looks like that will continue. She's in a share of 4th alongside Seok Hyo-rim, who put together a low round of the morning wave, a 67 for her, and Hong Jin-young, who we saw a bit of in yesterday's coverage. Ji-yu's younger sister, Ko Ji-won, having a much better go of things than Big Sis, although this one leaking right. Oh, off a tree, off the cart path. Need to get lucky here. Oh, and she has. Oh, you need good breaks in golf tournaments, and you can definitely chalk that one up to a bit of good fortune for Ko Ji-won. Park Min-ji, 5 under yesterday, but a couple over for her round today. Trying to get one of those back here. Ooh, tried to get away, but thankfully it didn't. So slips that one in. Turns it 1 over par. Ko Ji-yu not going to see any more action this week. 1 over today to go with a 74 from yesterday means she is missing the halfway cut. So no back-to-back wins for Ji-yu, but maybe the sister double very much on. That's Jung Eun-soo's 3rd birdie in a row to move her into a share of 7th. So some pretty good scoring, I have to say, once again, the afternoon starters. Here Shin-sil beats up par 5s with her length. So you find the fairway here, definitely thinking birdie. The fairway does tilt a little from left to right, so you want to keep this down that left edge. And sort of middle and trying to hang on. Looks like it just finds that fairway bunker. Much will depend on how far away from that lip she is. There's Minji. Greenside bunker, long bunker shot, but plenty of green with which to work, and that is a real touch of class. Oh, how have you stayed out? I don't think she knows either, but she's going to be moving herself to 2 under par shortly. Great shot there from Park. I wonder if a record-setting 21st title is going to come in 2026 for Minji. He shares that record of being the winningest player on the KLPGA Tour with 2 others. Again, Joe has had a solid season, but still winless. 2026. Just the hybrid club. Doesn't lack for power. That's good. Solid shot. Yeah, one. Highly efficient move she puts on the ball. Not many moving parts. Big wide shoulder turn. Swings around that spine angle beautifully. That's a lot of tee shots just like that. One of the straightest drivers in the game here in South Korea. Go up to the green and go the younger. Herself a 3-time winner on the KLPGA Tour. Big Sis has got one more than her. However, this is an eagle putt that needs to keep on trucking. Seen that a little this week. A number of players misjudging the pace, particularly on this par 5 7th. Go ahead to 8. This is Kim Shi-hyun on the par 3. To 9. Jalen Su on a bit of a heater. 3 birdies in a row to this point. That needs to keep releasing. She'll have an outside chance to make it 4 on the bounce heading to the turn. It's a chance to go G1. That's going to tail off low. After a good break like that, maybe a little deflated to walk off with just the par 5, but with that second shot in the air, I'm pretty sure she would have taken 5. Very lucky clattering off that tree and ending up on the putting surface. Back down the fairway, or to be exact, the bunker. No option to go for the green shin sill, just have to lay it up. Frustrating inside of 170 on a par 5, and just because of the fact you're coming out of that bunker and you got those trees you can see at the corner of the dog leg. Sokyo rim clattered into yesterday. Take your medicine. It's the percentage plays. You can still make par. Still make birdie, I should say, from there. Now, air 1, even though she's just coming out of that step cut of rough, I think she's in the left rough, so she's further back from those trees. Going to be in the back of your mind though. 194 playing slightly downhill. I think the shot here is to try and hit some kind of cut. So you don't catch this out of the middle and it comes out a little flatter than you want. But fade of that that ball could very much be in the lap of the golfing gods. Certainly started left. Yeah, good shot. Clever shot there from Yewon. Very nicely executed indeed, and a good eagle opportunity coming up. In the fairway, but also down to the right half. So you really got to make sure you get some good elevation on this if you're Joe. Beautiful. Excellent shot. Should be defending a major title at the KB Financial Group Star Championship in a couple of weeks' time at Blackstone in Incheon. To the par 3 8th and Park Min-ji. Still no hole-in-ones yet this week. Not saying that they're a weekly occurrence, but we've seen a number of good tee shots on this hole. It's just going to release on a little for Park. Part of the equation for that good scoring, I just get the sense, might be the fact that the breeze has been a little absent through the first day and a half here at the Aurora Resort. G1 trying to bend one in from right to left. The greens are still pretty firm though. It's a good shot. To round out this 3-ball in Jinyong in the season opener in Thailand at the Rejuan Championship. It has struggled with consistency since. Much like Yu Hyun Jo and the others at 2 over, she's under a little bit of pressure, but that is going to make her feel a whole lot better. Stunning tee shot there at the par 3. Pop up a little to find Park Ye-ji, coming off her birdie at the 9th. Here she is at 10. Middle of the fairway can be aggressive to this right hole location. Yeah, that's very nicely played. Excellent distance and spin control from Park. That's where Dang Shun Sil has laid it up to at the 7th. Pretty gettable hole location on the left-hand side of the screen, but is an enormous target, some 50 paces deep. So got to be spot on with your distance control. You're going to have a rather lengthy birdie putt. Didn't look like she was overly pleased with the contact, but Kind of gets away with it, pitched on the downslope and releases onto about 12 feet. For 4 in a row, Zhang Ensu on 9. So moving a little off her right. Oh, not that much. Good attempt though. That's going to be a solid outward half of 33. That includes a bogey on the third. So Zhang Ensu running inside the top 10 as things stand. Of eagle putts coming up for Year 1 and Yu Hyun Jo. Certainly feel that you've got to take advantage of these holes. Very scoreable, every single one playing under its par. Maybe a touch tentative, but birdie will move her to 1 over par. Minji on the 8th, putting up the hill, pretty slow from this point. And she's left a little knee knocker for herself. Shinso. It's a sneaky slow putt, this. So you've got to make sure you keep that speed up. The movement there is coming off the right. Certainly hit it positively enough, just didn't start it far enough to the starboard side. Learned anything off the putt of Minji. Fraction more pace perhaps. Barely an improvement. So Minji trying to get herself back to where she began the day. Just that. Very well done. Oh, yeah, one could vault herself into a share of second if this one drops for eagle. Pretty much straight up the hill, so can give this one a fair run. Quite, but it's going to be a very simple 2-putt birdie. Year 1 alongside E. Ji Hyun. And a share of third at 7 under par. Ji Hyun done for her day after a second successive round in the 60s. Year 1 still with plenty of golf to play. Here's Im Jin Young after that great tee shot on 8. Duly converts to move to the safety net at 1 over. Let's move a little further up the golf course to catch up with the second shot of what looks to be Choi Ye-rim. A very good shot at that. Getting better and better. Beautiful. So Minju still leads after a second round of 69. Yeah, one though. On the charge here Friday afternoon at the Aurora Resort. Good solid tee shot from Hyunjo. It's always been the strength of the game, hitting plenty of greens, giving yourself lots of birdie looks inside the top 10 on both statistical categories, greens in regulation, and of course putting. It's always been on the top for driving accuracy and putting. She drives for show and putts for dough, put it that way. Just a little left to target, but got that to land nice and soft. I expect that could be a pretty popular spot, just down that gentle little swale. This second time 10 going to be coming from the right rough for Jung Eun-soo. Bum. Does have a tendency to just get a little ahead, fan that club face open. Doesn't pay too steep a price there. Pin high right. Head out to catch up with Im Jin Young. She is off the 9th tee. Those players that never really wanted to change that big looping draw. I mean, when you win 20 times, why would you want to change it?
Oh, sure.
It's a nice friendly kick out of the rough. From just short of the green. Pretty simple looking pitch shot as long as the lie is okay. Demonstrate it perfectly there. And that looked very simple indeed. So first to putt for birdie on 8, coming across the green. And a good roll on that. We know this one's slow. Hopefully, everyone knows that too. Gotta hit it. Another player Just caught out by the pace. Yeah, she has opted to lay it up at the par 5 11, so here she is with her third. 111 meters, slightly downhill. Should get a pretty comfortable wedge on this one. Paying attention to the last couple of feet of Bangshin Sil's putt as it rolled towards the cup. Can't get that to drop. And Joe stays at 1 over par. Young. Gentle downslope here. She comes into the 9th. Pitch it about 8 paces short of this hole. It lands in an upslope and kills it. Just there. Just don't get that big forward kick. It's still a pretty solid shot. One. Just formality you have to say for her part. Doesn't make any mistakes from that range. It surprised me to see her leading this championship come day's end. Certainly in some great form as we go ahead to Minji's second. Bit of an awkward pin for her. On that right-hand side of the green, with the green tilting from right to left. And she's done well. Over 100 meters due on, but that's a little loose by her high standards. Picked to 10, and Sheehyun. Half a bat more. Probably a 6 out of 10 there. Here's Bang. Just opting for the 3-wood on 9. Driver not necessary for a player of her power. Just enough to skip through the thick rough. That's a good position now. Far right-hand side of the tee box, but trying to hit a slinging draw. Up and over, just a little shoulder. This one's going to be shimmying to the right. conviction and commitment. Driver for year one on 9. Got her accuracy. Why not take the big stick? Chalk that one up as another fairway found for E. Jinyong ahead on the green. Setting up a long ways left. just felt like it wasn't going to move that much. In fact, it was a bit of a double breaker, that. Should be a cast iron par there for him as we go ahead to Jung and Soo, who's trying to string them together. Here's another look on 11. Language indicates that could be hanging on the edge. Oh, missed it low, I suspect. There's Minji. Fairly straight looking putt, this. Come left there. Yeah, well read. Nicely rolled, Park Min-ji to 3 under par. Upside chance on the 10th, just a little up the hill. It's a par putt now. G1. Yeah, made that a little harder than it needed to be, but safely in it goes. Still kicking left for Park Ye-ji to stay 5 under. Nice look from down the line. It places Yu Hyun Jo ahead at 9, pinned just to the right of that TV tower. Aggressive, maybe a little unlucky. On the downslope, shooting that ball forward a little more than she would have liked. Still, good shot. Better angle for Shinsil, but she's got about a 5-foot window between that ball killing in the upslope and sort of pitching on the flat. She'll be able to one-hop and stop it. We carry it a little too far like Yu Hyun Jo. Ball's first bounce is going to be a pretty hefty one. She's hit her mark. Great shot for Bang. wedge. Keeled in that upslope, luckily crawls over the precipice of it. Just a tricky little pin. It looks very gettable at 9, but you have to hit a quality shot and you have to hit your number if you want to give yourself a good look. It's probably one of the best seats in the house. Bench atop the rocky outcrop next to the 9th. Great place to sit and taking the action here on day 2 at the Aurora Resort. Up to the start of the back 9 with Park Min-ji, who finds herself at 3 under par. Keep it down the straight and narrow. You're not going to miss it. Left rough's a much better angle. It's a nice friendly kick, and this one's going to be running for a while. Here's ENG ahead on 12. Longish par 3. Playing just 153 today, so it's a 6 iron for Park. Left early. This putt for Yeron. Coming down that slope. Very good effort. Tough to be aggressive when you're putting from slightly above the hole. Always fearful that it just gets away from you if you're a touch careless. Still efficient front 9 of 3 under par. Sees up in that chair of 3rd. At the 11th. Pitched it in a very good spot. Knew she was going to get some release and judged it very well. A lot of playing out of rough. Comes down to reading the lie, and reading the lie comes from a lot of experience that Min-ji has. This is her second. I knew she was going to get a little jump and a little release, and all in all, a very good shot. Just fractionally outside right lip. This is a great chance for Ocean Sill to start stringing them together. just a little outside. Chance goes a begging. So Bang Shin Sil to the back 9 at 2 under par. Shots behind Kim Min Ju's 10 under target. 3-1 after that huge tee shot at 10. Not much left into this green. Day 2 action rolling along here at the Aurora World Championship. Minju by 2 over Seiromi Yewon trying to make up ground out on the golf course. featured group starting the back nine. Chinsil sending one away here at 10. For the dog-legs around from right to left. That one just going to stray into the right rough. And, oof, it's like a pretty cabbagey lie as well. It's a funny old tee shot, this one at 10, because you know the hole shapes so nicely for players that work it right to left, but the dog legs, the precipice of that dog leg, optically doesn't look as far on as it actually is. You see a number of players just pull it left. I think they're going to get away, and they end up playing their seconds out of that left rough. She doesn't know what it's like to miss fairways. Another one straight down the center stripe for EA1. Let's trundle up a little further to catch up with Jung and Soo with a great look here on 11. She will duly convert. So back on the birdie train goes Jung and Soo. Up to a share of 5th. There's G1 for the front edge of the green at 10 after a hole hum second. Just creeped it a little low. Good try, though, from Go. Comes back towards the front of the green here on 12 for her birdie. Got good. Look at the line. So we started that a little further right. Maybe fractured too much. Great try.
Nice ball! Nice ball!
너무너무 기쁘고요. 1승을 더 추가하면 좋겠지만 그래도 상금 이제 꼬박꼬박 받아서 15등 이게 안에 드는 게 목표예요.
Imagine what happens if you just happen to sneak into that right rough on the 10th. Come from a little bit of elevation, and the good news for Young Joe, the lie doesn't look too scruffy, but tough to get close to this front right pin. And for a flyer, just a wedge from 127. All things considered, that's pretty good. That's very good. Speaking of lies, it's not a particularly good one for Bang Shin Sil. You know it's going to come out with release. You chance a jumper, but the ball's sitting down that much in the thick stuff. Easy to catch it off the top of the club face and just have it come out dead. It just goes nowhere. Just off the fringe, but don't think you'll hear her complaining too much about that result. No lie reading required for year one. This is full attack mode wedge from 112. It's a green light pin if you find this fairway.
Stop.
Jung Min Soo, who's been on a bit of a birdie barrage over the last half dozen holes. Here she is at 12 with a 7-iron. Get to the par 5 11th, find the fairway here, you can attack. Angie with the driver, just going to have to be a smooth one. Fairway runs out around 240 meters. Looking anxiously at it. And yeah, it's wide just into the right rough. Much will depend on the lie, and from that angle, doesn't look like a particularly good one. Here's Sheehan down on the green looking for birdie. Interesting. Shinsil, even though she's only about 8 inches off the edge of the green, electing to chip this one. So just try and take the unpredictability of that first bounce through the fringe out of the equation. Should go pretty straight once it hits the green. Yeah, tidy stuff. It's not a play I recommend the weekend golfer. Always advocate putting whenever you get the opportunity, just more predictable. She's a professional. She knows what she's doing. Yeji from the rough on 13 to about 10 feet away. Excellent shot. That rough middle batch of a front nine, but she has turned it around since with back-to-back birdies on 9 and 10 and a good look coming up at 13. Back down to the 10th, and Yu Hyun Jo, if this partner is going to come uphill a little for her birdie. While she lines that one up, it looks like Minji is just going to be laying up at the par 5 11th. Like I said earlier, this one a little up the hill and off the right for Joe's birdie. Slapped a little pace. Let's get back to Zhang Ensu on 12, trying to keep that run going. And this is the sort of range when you're putting well and playing well, these tend to go in more often than not. Got a free roll at it. Oh, it was on the right line. Just a little shy. Year 1 into scholarship. Watching Yu Hyun Jo's putt, but can't get it to go either. Great effort. But that ball stubbornly remains above ground. Minji after laying up, and don't blame her. Second shot coming out of the rough, so unpredictable, especially with trouble short. So she's done the prudent thing. You don't win 20 times without having a good golfing IQ. She is from 80 meters. That ball reacted a little strange, almost like it hit a speed ramp and kicked forward. Very unusual. Area that guards the entire left-hand side of this 11th hole. So we are going for the green. Just helps to err on the side with caution, stick it out a little further right. The club face open, get this one launching high if you can. The contact sounded very clumpy, and that's going to be the result. Coming up short for OG1. The fairway on 11, not the biggest as you can probably ascertain from that overhead shot, but you can keep it on the short grass. Like I said, you can reach in two, but you see a lot of players going with 3 woods, trying to keep it short of the run out. driver here. She could comfortably go 3 wood, but that is the driver in her hands. So it's just going to be a smooth one. Don't need to jump all over it. That is absolutely perfect now. Nice control. Throttle down a little. Still keeping that club face nice and square. So fourth for Koji Won after flubbing it to this point from 50 meters. And looks like she will make amends. Good recovery. So definitely not going to reach for the driver. In fact, it might just be her hybrid club. And keep going. Oof. Again, she's going to have to figure out her options when she gets down there. If the lie's okay, might be green light. If not, be forced to lay up for the second par 5 in a row. The edgy bit of movement off the right in this birdie, but got it. Good birdie for Parky G. Climbs it into the top 5 as well. It's really congested now. Some 9 players within 4 shots of Kim Min-ju's lead. After that curious third shot, still has a birdie putt on the 11th. Oh, wasn't a million miles away. Good roll. Herself scrambling a little bit on 11, but a very nicely played bunker shot should mean that Koji Won emerges from this par 5 unscathed. Does not look awfully good for Bang Shin Sil. Just that 6 or 7 iron, keep it out towards the rock wall in the distance. Think about bringing that penalty area into play. fine. Looks like a layup. Joe was rotting a little further back up that fairway than I thought, just getting relief from. Seems to be a sprinkler head in that fairway. As long as you take complete relief, ball is now in play. He's going to go with the 3-wood now. Mentioned earlier, maybe your line is over that the right half of that front right greenside bunker. Maybe you don't quite catch all of it. Not as much of a forced carry over the penalty area.
오케이. 문제 없어.
방향은 벙커 바로.
오케이.
Contact sounded good, but she's leaning like that's a little right. Touch too far right. Scampers across the cart path, but that should be okay. Well, she will have to drop it on that. That looks like a pretty severe downslope, so that could make that third shot a little interesting.
앞에.
Yeah, one. Just an iron in hand, looking well right. So she explained this as a 3-shotter, despite being in pretty much the perfect position. I wonder if the trees may have just been a part in influencing this conservative play. That's not a very good layup as well into the rough, which is going to limit her control coming into this green. pretty tufty lie for year one. You can see the result there. Just no spin on that third shot. I question the amount of commitment she had. Second shot layup. Bit of a lapse in concentration. Let's go up to 12 and go G1. Cross-country putt for her birdie. Not the first time she's come up short from long range. Have to keep an eye on that as this round progresses. She's just in the first cut of rough, but it doesn't look too bad. She'll get on the back of the ball fairly cleanly. So a little chip and run required for the back of the 13th green. Also going to leave her a bit of work for par. It's going to be coming out low. You can see you've got a down slope, but you've got ample green to play with. Turn that lob wedge into a pitching wedge and 9-iron sort of trajectories. Just get this yard on and rolling, and it's going to get there. A touch heavy-handed, but I don't know, not too bad. Here's Minji, tee shot at 12. So reasonable chance. Go up to 4 under par. And she will do just that. Very nicely done, Minji. The biggest test she's faced in the last 2 hours or so. A par putt for Jung Eun-soo. Well rolled, center cup, perfect holding pace. Keeps that momentum rolling along. Just coming through the fringe at 14 is Park Ye-ji. Opting to chip this one up the bank. She was turning a birdie opportunity into a real struggle for par. To be honest, did not see this coming from year one. Speaking of struggling for par, here's G1 a hit at the par 3. Didn't look convinced, but she'll pick it out of the bottom of the cup. So hopefully she would have seen how slow this is from the back edge of the 11th green. And that's a much better effort. A really good try. See this 13th hole, just dog licks a little from right to left, but unlike 11, plays sharply up the hill, so not reachable for most of the field. Definitely not reachable if you find the left rough off the tee. Just treading water, living dangerously on that projected cut line of 1 over par. The edge of the fairway up ahead is Kim Shi-hyun with her third. G1. Got to keep this a little further right than you think. A lot of balls in that left rough. Looks to be good. Comebacker for birdie at 11. This is Yoo Hyun-jo trying to get back to even par. It's been a real grind for her so far this championship. Putter has been pretty ice cold. Great momentum saving putt coming up for her. This for par. Oh, and she buries it straight in the middle. Made hard work of that, but her scorecard remains clean. That is the par 5 13th. I'd say it's going to be layups for all three players in this group. First of all should be par ENG. It's going to be OG1 from the fairway. Just about trying to leave yourself a nice yardage in for your third shot up the hill. Looks like she's going with hybrid. likes to go. So she's also going with that rescue club. She too will be up nice and handy down that fairway. A little further up the back nine is where we find Park Ye-ji coming into the 15th from the right edge of the fairway. Wedge in hand, she's at 6 under par.
넓게 써도 되고.
This hole playing a lot shorter with that front pin, but it's tough to get close to that whole location with these greens firming out. 8-iron in the hands of Yoo Hyun-jo. It's one of the better ones we've seen on this hole. Good shot. Yeah, 20 feet long and right of this pin, not a bad shot. And she's coming in with a little more club than Yoo Hyun-jo, so expect this to be rolling out a little more. Feeling like she's leaped that one right. Yeah, just not getting through into her left side as well as she has done in the past function. So that in fairly tight dispersion pattern means that she's not found the green. To 13. And a birdie try for Kim Shi-hyun. So guesswork required on 14 from the rough. trundling, keep releasing. Yeah, well played. Pretty weak effort. KLPGA. Bar will do her challenge. No great damage whatsoever. Still remains within touching distance for adrift of the lead, held by Kim Min-ju. Third for Ji-won up the hill to this green. Looks like it's sitting down a little, so I came up pretty hot. Not much check. Get down on that, try and get as much height and spin as possible. And that's pretty solid. Back on the 12, Shinsil coming across the green. This one will be working off her right. Slows down a little in the last couple of feet. Even though the first portion is gently downhill. That is all in all pretty nicely judged for pace. Linji. Seems to like it. Ooh, is that going to stay up on the top shelf? No, I needed another maybe 2 yards more. Yellow on this one, down to start and comes up at the end. We'll be working from left to right. Second hole in a row. The putter's going to come under pressure. To 14th we go. Jang Min-soo trying to get back amongst the birdies. Hasn't made one since 11. Yo, she's got another. Just enough speed on that. Jang Eun-soo joins EA1 at 7 under par. It'll be all about judging the pace coming up this steep rise for Min-ji at the 13th. Pretty well done. After that excellent tee shot at 12. Desperate to see one drop. That's going to slip off on the low side. Get there surely for Go Ji-won. Just a little too cautious coming down that slope. for par. Pretty committed. Just eyeing this on the left edge. Falls off sharply to the right. You don't release that putter head. Good stroke. Good stroke for year one. That's 2 great saves in a row. Pick above the tee, normally a good sign, especially if you're year one. Another fairway found for former rookie and player of the year. The power of Bangshin Sil is this green reachable in 2, so just gotta make sure you keep this tee ball in play and figure out a layout from there. It's a much better swing. Got onto her lead side very nicely. No hanging back and leaving the club face open on that occasion. A couple holes left to play for Park ENG, who's on the 16th and operating from the short grass with a wedge. Sue hold back on the 15th. She also has a wedge from 110. Like hole location, good angle from the left side of the fairway. Up, you can see ahead. It's like going straight up a mountain to this 13th green. And here one's the second part of the equation sorted out safely, rolling up down the fairway. Along the side, she carries a 5-iron, and that thankfully takes a nice little kick under that right-hand rough. Shinson. Looks like a 3-wood, so she's really trying to push it up as far up this hole as possible. I actually think she might run out of runway. Possibly end up in that little cross-section of rough about 50 yards short of the green. Can't hold anything back with that one. Oh, she's going to get on the green, is she? Oh! Well, that was two mighty hits to get close to the front edge of this 13th and 2. Beg your pardon, Bang Shin-Su. Thought she couldn't get there in 2, but clearly can. Power in the game of golf. Gosh, it is a wonderful thing, isn't it? Birdie putt for Kim Ji-hyun ahead on 14. Go. One of those things where you feel at least you gave it a chance. You got it past the hole. Struggling to remember who was the great golfer that said 99% of the putts you leave short don't go in. Truer words never spoken. It's like Jang Eun-soo sizing up this birdie opportunity to try and inch alongside Kim Se-ro-mi. She is at the best of it this afternoon. 5 under already on her day. Yeah, just needed a little more pace. Wedgie. There's a good chance on the 16th. Key here is make sure you get it onto that upper plateau of this two-tiered green on the 13th. Easier said than done. Can't see the bottom of the flagstick from back down in the fairway. Very nicely played. Excellent control from year one. Releases out a little more than she would have liked, but that's pretty good. Joe further up the hill so she can sort of see the target. We're going to try and take the high road, carried onto that upper shelf. And it just clings on. Here's Minji up ahead from the middle of the donation circle on the 14th. She's at 4 under par and in the mood to go flag hunting here from 96. Beautifully done. Great control. I mentioned 6 victories on tour, Bang Shin Sil, the first of which came when she wasn't even a KLPGA Tour member. Won charity Ladies Open at Soleil 1 a number of years ago. All the way up to survey the surrounds of the target up ahead. Obviously lots of green to work with, but everything pitches towards her, and in the last part of this, what I assume to be a pitch and run, it's going to have to make up a pretty steep slope. So you're off the upslope here. It's going to add loft. You want it running and low, so it's really important to try and keep that back of the left wrist going towards the hole. De-loft the club a little, get it low and scuttling. Pretty well done. Just didn't want to make the mistake of being too cute and coming up short. So a little longer putt than she would have liked, but at least it's from the correct level of the screen. Just past the circle is where we find In Jin Young on the 14th. Don't see this every day, but unfortunately this is what happens if you just miss your targets. The Aurora Golf Resort, so you can't take relief from that cart path because she will be dropping it down the side of a cliff. So we'll have to play it off the asphalt. angle's not great. You come over the corner of this green, short-sided towards the pin, over that bunker. Expect the what repairman could be getting a visit from Koji Won after this round. Yeah, sensible play, good shot. Here's year one. Down the hill from the right edge of the green at 13 for birdie. I was just going to say, it feels like she's been stuck in neutral, but that's a fourth birdie of her round. Up into a share of second goes EA1. Normal service has resumed. Shinsil through the shadows on this par 5. But should want to just creep a little to her right. Yep. Well done, Bang Shin-sil. Aggressive play pays off as she picks up another birdie to move to 3 under and inside the top 20. Penultimate hole for Park KLPGA from 176. Oh, brilliant shot. Very aggressive to that front right pin and nicely executed. A hat trick of birdies perhaps coming up on the 13th for this featured group. Here's Yoo Hyun-jo. Did you finally get that putter to start warming up? Oh, yes, she can. It's about time. And finally, one goes for Yoo Hyun-jo. Back to even par for the championship and a little breathing room to that cut line at +1. Up to Koji Won off the cart path to this point. Birdie try on the way at 14. After that tee shot, for not a bad result. It sounded like a heavy lie on 15. Tough to get that one to stop, but fires it into the upslope and that'll stick in the fringe. Good shot from that position. Par putt now for Im Jin-young. Good shot. Up on the front edge of the green, just a little 2-putt, keeps her +1. Nice aggressive second, but he's still got to finish the job. Park ENG just quietly sneaking up the leaderboard. Center Cup. Here she comes, the 20-time champion. Starting to string them together. 4 deep on the day, into the top 10 at 5 under par. Finally back at even par is Yu Hyun Jo. 74 yesterday, has had to battle hard today. She is off the 14th and looking like this is a little left. Ooh, took a big bounce in that fairway and will settle up in the rough.
여기 스트레스 살짝 가려야 돼요. 이렇게 뻥 뚫려 있으니까. 우측은 저 라이트까지 괜찮고.
Sticking to what she knows best. Yewon, fresh off that birdie, moving her into a share of second. Out with the driver. It's been a tremendous display of driving from the 22-year-old thus far today. Grateful the commentators cursed in strike there. She's found another fairway and she's kept it in the ideal spot just down that left half. Curious to see what club Bang Sil opts for. Just the prudent play with the rescue.
Okay, one.
Caddy says okay. Shinsil agrees. There you go. On the short grass goes the match play champion. Down on 17 is where we find Park Hye-ji looking for a birdie. Still okay, 1 under for her round. ENG safely found a fairway here. Off a slight upslope. So we'll be looking to keep her foot on the gas pedal. She's had it going today. Took the long miss out of play. Aggressive swing to a conservative target. That was a great piece of advice the Big Easy, the great Ernie Els used to give all the time. Because you're playing the safe shot doesn't mean you have to decelerate or put a poor swing on it. Koji Won has dropped a shot, but could be getting it straight back here after that excellent approach. Short of the green on 16 is where we find Jung Eun-soo. Pretty simple little chip. Much like the one she had on the 10th, but carrying that a little deeper seems to indicate the lie wasn't quite as good. So another tricky par-saving putt to come for Jung. Drop back to 14, Shinsil. Right edge of the fairway. Pretty lofted club in hands. You want to try and cut this just a little bit, but tough to do when you got that much loft on the club face. Much better angle. Don't have to manipulate the shape of the flight too much from the left edge of the fairway. 9 as well. Maybe it fall through, trying to punch one in there. Yeah, Very nicely done from EA1. And super par. ENG. This is for another. Oh, she's got it. Park Min-ji on the move on this back nine. Back-to-back birdies. Ominous name continues to rise up the leaderboard in this second round at the Aurora World Championship. Final hole of the day for Park Ye-ji. Just in that left rough. Light. Just caught a bit of a flyer, unfortunately. That was tumbling through the back of the green. She'll get relief from that drainage cover. Due on for a good little bounce back. Really straight putt when you don't see too much movement in it. Just a case about keeping that putter face square and the speed up.
Nice par.
So first part of the putt goes right, then it starts to move back left in the last third of its journey. Start coming left from there. Keep coming. Oof, good read. Half Kim Min-ju's advantage with this birdie opportunity. Year one to get to 9 under par. Lost it left early. You could see it off the putter face. That's a big chance squandered. Still having a very solid day though. Finish 3 on the card, 4 birdies for year one. Free relief given from that drainage cover. Just the way that she's looking at it indicates that the drop may have ended up in a bit of a scruffy lie. Just got to play a little tumbly pitch and run from this position. Don't need to try and be a hero and overcomplicate it. Again, like I've always advocated, try and get the ball on the ground and rolling as early as possible. You don't even need a lob wedge from this spot. You can hit a pitching wedge. Something with less loft, less trajectory, far more predictable when that ball's rolling along the smoother surface of the green. to take the aerial route. That's that run out that you always fear. So a testy one left for KLPGA. She's done so well over the last 10 holes or so since the double on the 7th. You hate to end your round with a bogey. To 15T and Bang Chin Sil. It's a very handy kick off that big side slope. Was not her best swing off the tee. Here's Minji. Storming towards the clubhouse, 16th tee.
Go. Hey.
So balanced post impact at the follow through, and that will just stay in the fairway. Yeah, that should be okay.
바로 더.
바로 들어가긴 해야 돼.
It's a pretty uncomfortable looking hanging lie for Shinsil, and it's pretty thick as well. That ball's come to rest 9-iron from 123. Get any control on it. Had to allow for the release, and she's calculated that pretty well. It's very nicely judged. Let's go to Goji 1, who's on 16. Year 1. Did end up on the first cut of rough, but that's not too bad. And just like Shinsil, that's very well done. So hopefully the final putt of the day for Park Ye-ji. Just shaves the left edge, and let's run on a little more. Also okay in that right rough. What happened there? That reacted very strangely coming off the club. Just a little toe strike. Su, pretty long putt on this par 3, but it is for birdie. Nicely paced out. Gotta collect yourself here, brush this one in for Park Ye-ji. Okay, a little up and down there. 4 birdies against a double and 2 drop shots leaves her exactly where she began the day, at 5 under par. Minji, not too difficult of a spot off the upslope. As long as the lie's okay, there should be a pretty simple up and down. There's work to be done though. Let's try and consolidate the momentum she's worked so hard to build this back 9. Su just brushes this one in for par at 17. Shinsil. This ball's come to rest on the top of a little mound, so it's going to be downhill ever so slightly. Oh, tried to turn, but just hangs high. Good attempt though, especially given that tee shot came to rest. Keeps her firmly affixed inside the top 20. Tufty little lie here. Gotta play this with some speed in an open club face, almost like a mini bunker shot. Clumsy from G1. Here's year 1. Trying to make amends for that short miss on the previous hole. And the putts have dried up a little for year one. Still very much in the conversation with 3 holes to play. Par putt now for G1 is leaking oil on this inward half. Okay, stops the bleeding there. Good save. You can always rectify a poor chip with a nice putt. That's a good par. We will also be hoping for a similar fate. Much easier putt than the one that G1 just hoped. With the length and the amount of borrow that she has to contend with. Don't need to start it outside edge, just say inside right half and firm. Taking the flagstick out, though, don't often see this from ENG. She's clearly a little unsettled. Just to remark that one. Never really looked settled over that, did she? Pretty tentative stroke. So it's back to 5 under. Back on the tee, year one with the driver. Service resumed as she splits the middle of the fairway. Fairway, the dog leg left to right don't necessarily fit the eye of Bang Shin-sil, but she needs to start this a little further right than E. Incredulous look on her face. Where's that one ended up? Doesn't look too concerned, so I imagine it should be okay. Let's get up to the closing hole and Jang Eun-soo from that popular spot down the left-hand side. Mind the flyer lie. Seen a couple already into this closing hole. Steady. Steady. Just it's rejected off the green. Goes through the back. To the 17th tee. Jin Yong, Ho-ji-won and Park Min-ji trying to do their sums. A solid gold bar plus one prize up for grabs. That would have been worth more a couple of weeks ago as gold prices have dipped slightly. Green ahead is clear and that's the target. Whole location, trouble short of the green. Really the prudent play, just a little long and a little left. Try and take your chances with some kind of 20-30 foot putt. Jin Yong with first crack. Lovely afternoon for some golf, not too much breeze. Still warm out there, but sometimes it's not as hot as it's been over the last couple of months. So we've got to put some good swings coming home. Precariously perched on that projected cut line at 1 over par. Be shocked to see this one short right of the pin. Aggressive, but very well executed. Well, she looked concerned, but she can breathe a sigh of relief now. That's good from Koji Won. Good shot there for Jang Min-soo. That's the kind of shot I was trying to describe earlier for Park Hye-ji. Just a little tumbling runner. She'll have a little kick in to go into the weekend at 7 under par. ENG looks like she's reached for a rescue club, maybe in between yardages. Oof. Too much off it, finds the front trap. I expect this one to be dancing around the pin. Could be mistaken. That was not what I expected from year one. That was a wedge in her hands. A little guesswork required for Shin Sil. Looks like a particularly heavy line that right rough, but does have to come over the bunkers. Still a little slow on her, but she'll get the advantage of a little bit of chase. Maybe showing year one the line, however. Just rolled into the step cut. But the angle's okay from 87. Just got enough of the club on it to generate some spin. Solid shot. Looks like she's on the upslope, which does simplify the shot a little bit for Park Min-ji. Yeah, classy stuff. Very nicely done. She'll know there's still a lot of golf to play in this championship, even if she fails to birdie the last. Being at 5 under, just 5 shots back with 36 holes to go. Anything can happen. Remember that outstanding round of 64 she shot to win her 20th career title a couple of months back. Go back to 16. Bang Shin with first crack at birdie. Last part of this putt. She's going to start to teeter a little bit downhill. I'm sure that'll be in the back of her mind. Just a sneaky quick one from that portion of the green. So you feel that shouldn't be too much of a problem for her. G1 after that, let's call it accidentally brave tee shot. Here's a chance for birdie to get back to 3 under par. Okay, in it goes. Very nicely done, Go G1. It's her first birdie since the 3rd hole, can you believe it? She's had her chances. Should have been paying attention, so I don't expect this to be traveling towards the front edge of the cup with too much speed. I think some of that might have been a reaction to watching Shinsil roll hers past. This would make the session up 18 a little easier for In Jin Young. Never looks to be high enough, so we still need a 4 down the last to comfortably play the weekend. 62 players find themselves at 1 over or better. Yu Hyun Jo. A brilliant second chance to move into red figures for the first time this week. Stays high. A little unlucky. Hit it exactly where she was aiming. Picturesque finishing hole at the Aurora Golf Resort. Kim Shi-hyun from the right rough. 3 under par. Even landing that just past the front third of the green. When you're coming from that rough, and that ball is bound for 1 place. So just got to go through the full routine. Make sure you don't leave any stone unturned. Take these for granted. Solid. Just got to keep the speed up here. This one rips hard left if you're not committed. Yeah, centre cut. Well done. Good save for Park. Not much in this. Feature group with 2 holes left to play. Seen a couple of good shots into 17, but you got to be brave and you have to take on that penalty area if you want to stick it close to this target. Up to the plush avocado sitting at the back of the 18th tee. Koji 1 with the driver. It's in too many fairways hit on this 18th. And that's going to just spray into the right rough. To go. Let's check out what Yun Swa is up to, who's in the right rough on 15. A very well played shot. Almost 7 billion won collected in the KLPGA Tour Korea, and that just hits the brakes in time. Okay, ready to go off the 17th is Yu Hyun Jo. How brave does she want to be at even par? Prudent play, swing, sitting on the dance floor.
좌우바람 안 봐도 있으나 앞이야. 좀 전에는 살짝 기울었었어. 순간적으로.
She's equalizing the left-hand side of the tee box. Usually that indicates you want to give yourself a slightly better angle to a right pin. So really, this is a good number for her. Just trying to work out what the little breeze there is doing. Again, just smart play here is a little left of the target. Don't bring any unnecessary risk into play. Not when you're sharing second at 8 under par. Exactly where she would have been looking. It's a smart shot. Let's see what Shinso can manage. She's last to go. Staring intently at it, seems to like it. Oh, that's why. Beautiful from Bang. about just dialing in the pace for Yu Hyun Jo on the 17th. Almost 60 feet long. Most of it downhill. Pretty good. Steady. Yeah, that's excellent. Wonderful touch. Thick line for Koji 1. Can she get it to hold the green? Got plenty of height on it. I think that might be okay. Touch and go. Sit. No. That might. That's okay. Quickly back to 17 for Yewon's birdie putt. Oh, not one you're expecting to make, but she'll make it anyway. EA1 to within one of Kim Min-ju's lead, a 5th birdie of her afternoon. Should be able to get it to stop. Min-ji. A nice line straight at the target. Oh, that's beautiful. That is an outstanding goal shot from Park Min-ji. She's going to have every opportunity to collect a closing birdie. There'll be a bunch of players keeping an eye on her name as the weekend unfolds. Now back to Shinsil. Not going to go in with that much pace. Tee shot just couldn't capitalize. All in all, that is a 10 out of 10 two-putt for Yu Hyun Jo. Great second in 15 from Yun Swa. She's got this for birdie to move into red figures. Didn't hit it. Just did not hit it. Always a fan of putting it whenever you can. It's just going to be slow for Koji 1. Giving that enough welly. Oh, she has absolutely bludgeoned that one, but look at how quickly that came to a stop. Gives you a sense of the gradient that the players deal with when you putt or chip from past the pin on 18. Back with the flagstick in again. Had it out the last couple of holes, dating back to that short miss we saw. Just for a birdie. Yeah. Never in doubt. 67 for Park Min-ji today. She'll go into the second half of this championship at 6 under par, very much in the conversation. Back up the hill on the tee is year one, was within one. Comes down to this now for the Ridgewan Championship winner in Jin Yong. Equation is simple. Roll this in, you're going to cash a check and play 2 more rounds of golf. You miss it, you're getting home for a par and to make the cut. No! Just enough speed on it to hold that line. Okay, 71, good enough for Im Jin Yong to play the weekend. Young Joe with a 3-wood. For the driver, Evie Bang Shin-sil is playing for position.
네, 카트 오니까.
Walk that one in. Been a bit of an up and down day for Go Ji-won, but it's a 71 for her to go along with her opening round of 70. 3 under par through 36 holes.
지금 바람 보지 말자.
ball's going to be just slightly below the feet of Yu Hyun-jo as she comes into this 18th. Most importantly, coming out of the fairway, this one turning maybe a little too much. No, just enough. Can't get it to hold. You can see there between Park Min-ji's numbers and hers, Min-ji's spin rate in the mid 6,000s. It's 5,100 for Yu Hyun-jo, maybe indicating a less than sweet strike. Flags up by the clubhouse. Maybe there's a little breeze coming into and off the right for Shinsil. Much better shot there for Bang. Very well done. Looking light. Tough to hold the green from here, but Socha's hitting driver. She's a long way down there, so we'll have a little bit more loft in her hands. Clever. Getting it into that upslope. Took a lot of sting out of that. Pretty well done. Outside chance to go into the weekend tied with Kim Min-ju. It's been a very, very good afternoon's work for EA1. She's one off the lead and 5 under par for her second round. See what kind of shot Yu Hyun-jo decides to employ from off the back of the green. Not the putter, reach for the wedge, so maybe a bit of a scruffy lie. Perhaps the grass into her. It's a pretty shaggy cut as well. So option to putt it. I'd love to see you get a little bit closer to it. That shaft more vertical, hands forward. Get a little shaft lean to de-loft it, get it chasing along the ground. Not an overly difficult chip shot, but as the greens slow up late in the day, you just have to make sure you hit hard enough to get it up to that target. Came off the club face a little hot, but the technique was good, so we'll bring that one well outside the back foot to ensure a clean strike. It is a birdie putt. It is to tie the lead, but you've got every wits about you here. Just coming over just a little brow. It's that shoulder that going to be negotiating the first portion of this putt. It's going to kick it right pretty early. It's going to be gathering pace as well. Given an almighty run, but that ball's not deceased yet. It's going to be reaching for a marker.
여기까지 갔다 온다 생각 여기서 했는데요.
It scared the hole. Certainly gave it every chance.
요 정도 그럼 요 정도 되지.
Shinzo, a little bit easier. She's more putting up that ridge than across it. This putt still will want to bleed off to the right. And just sort of bashing it through the break. She's also got a little bit of cleaning up upcoming. Hasn't lost her turn yet, Shinzo. From that camera angle, it's a lot longer than I thought it was from the worm's eye view. Should just be inside right half. Stay committed. Maximum concentration over what hopefully is her final putt of the day. Okay. Nice rectification of that little rush of blood to the head. Out in 71. Should be a left centre putt. So to stay patient today. Not had her best stuff. Some ball striking. She'll have 2 more rounds to go at the Aurora Golf Resort. She'll go into the weekend level par, 10 shots adrift, but never write her off. It was a 70 today to make the weekend with a shot to spare.
많이 봐야 끝쪽밖에 안 보여. 뭐 자기 계시면 끝 아니야. 어? 이 지나서 온 거 아니야, 얘가? 흐름이 확실해.
A couple of good par-saving putts, finding the mark from her playing partners. Year 1 for her part, and a bogey-free 67. Yes, rock solid. Very nicely played. Had a couple of great par saves amongst those 5 birdies. 67 to go alongside her opening 68. She will start moving day as Kim Min-ju's closest pursuer in that final group, but it will be Kim Min-ju who leads through 36 holes at 10 under par. Yewon and Kim Se-ro-mi will round out the final group. Park Min-ji, wouldn't you know it, has played her way right into the title picture. She's 4 shots adrift in the second playing of the Aurora World Championship. Been a great 2 days here at the Aurora Golf Resort. Hopefully you can join us for more of the same tomorrow afternoon. Have a lovely evening, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow on the KLPGA Tour. Bye-bye for now.